Mike Shaw, you're Director of Marketing Solutions for Comscore, and you are here at this affiliate conference where they all talk about CPC and CPA and everything, and you say branding is king, not clicking.
Absolutely. In the offline world, branding accounts for something in the region of 2/3 of ad spend. In the online world, it's less than a quarter. So branding really is where the growth is going to come from, and unfortunately the current measurement methods like clicks don't tell you much about branding.
Yeah, you had some horrible statistics. Who clicks in the UK? What percentage? And what do they click on?
It's very small double digits of people that are clicking, and we see that actually 3% of people in the total online population now account for almost 2/3 of all of the clicks. And not only that, but these people aren't necessarily representative.
They're not normal.
Yeah, they're not normal, exactly.
They're gambling. They love gambling and all kinds of other stuff.
They are heavy indexing on gambling, and kind of very, the people who don't click are very heavy indexes on things like search, portals, maybe social networking. These are people who are maybe more representative of the mainstream user.
Okay, but that means if 3% do 80% of the click, and what percentage never clicks on anything?
Yeah, so we're looking at upwards of 85% of people don't click on anything in a month, which, given the average internet user is now exposed to around 2,000 display units, is a phenomenal amount of ignoring of display advertising if you accept clicks as the only way of measuring.
Okay. So completely useless, all that internet advertisement, or isn't it? What is the influence of advertisement on branding and awareness, and how does it basically have commercial value?
Absolutely. So I think the ads in themselves have a huge amount of value. It's just not captured by the clicks. So we're seeing behavioral change. We see people far more likely, on average 72% more likely to be visiting sites within a month period if they've seen an ad. 94% uplift in likelihood to search on branded search terms. Those aren't captured by the clicks because they don't happen in the 30 seconds after they've seen the ad. It does happen over a longer time window. So what we're urging is brands and marketers to generally take the long view of exactly how display is working, rather than measuring everything on the clicks, because you won't get it.
But at this affiliated conference where everything is click, 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 that's like, just cursing in the church.
Well, I think the message for everybody in the room here is ultimately they're delivering far more value than is being reflected in the clicks they're demonstrating for the brands. They're building brand equity through people's visiting of their search over a longer time period. They're building search volumes. The money's going to Google there. Should be coming to some of the people in this room.
So you basically preach to go back to the CPM model.
My view is actually that the right model doesn't yet exist, but it's going to be something that evolves over a longer time period, and ultimately, for most of the brands, most of the real money that's going to come into online advertising over the next few years is going to involve some form of offline activity measure as a way of justifying this.
You also said what percentage, you said about search and about going to the website. What about sales online and offline?
Yeah, so we're seeing, when you look at the offline sales model, we're seeing around 17% increase in people buying FMCG products offline, having seen online ads compared to people who haven't seen those ads. When we look at that for online sales, that's in excess of 20% actual dollar value of conversions.
Okay, you're just making it a hell of a lot more difficult, because I mean, if we have to measure branding, then we have to figure out how, after a couple of weeks, the effects basically go through. I guess we need Comscore to help answering those difficult questions.
Comscore are one of a number of providers who hopefully will be able to shed a lot more light on the way that advertising is really working.
But can you do that? Can you figure out about how branding works for an individual vendor, and how difficult is that?
It's definitely tricky. It's a lot easier to just look at clicks, but as we've just shown that clicks don't matter, it is something that we can do. We have a panel of 2 million people globally. We can look at the behavior of those people. We, like other survey-capable companies, can look at the general population. As long as we can identify ad exposure, which Comscore can, I'm sure some others can, we can understand the attitudinal impact of these campaigns as well by listening to what consumers think. Do they remember the brand? Do they trust the brand? Are they more favourable towards the brand? Will they recommend the brand? So all of the things that CMOs have been measuring in the offline world for years, we can now take those, put those into online as well, and really understand what online's incremental driving of those measures look like.
So, and how much would that add, that measurement, that sophisticated measurement of not only measuring clicks and orders, but also branding and later orders? How much does that end to the ad spending? If you, does that is that 10% extra for for a company like Comscore to come up with numbers, or is that a small percentage? How difficult is that?
A lot of it depends on what the overall number is at the starting point. So if you're somebody like P&G, the ad spend you're putting out there on a global basis per year is phenomenal. And actually for somebody like P&G, if we're able to show them that online is changing brand awareness and the brand measures they've looked at offline for years, we might actually be able to tell them that by spending more of their budget online in what is ultimately a cheaper channel, they're saving vast sums of money rather than adding incremental to a campaign cost.
But actually, you need services for these affiliate networks to basically also prove that they are having branding effects, that's built into their service. Any plans? Is there anything happening?
Yeah, so Comscore have got an ad tagging model which fundamentally will allow us to see the way that affiliate display ads are landing on consumers and track passively what that consumer behavior looks like over time. So we can come back with real intelligence on what happened in the time period.
Do you already have affiliate networks which basically include those kinds of service in their reporting?
Typically not. Typically
You
not.
do it for big advertisers, but you don't do it for the networks themselves.
The most of the people who are doing it are publishers and some of the ad networks as well, but not in terms of the actual affiliate networks themselves. We haven't tended to get in there. I think you hit the nail on the head at the very start of this. It's a lot about performance.
That's why you're here and then presenting, so that's good business for you. Thank you very much, Comscore.